Everyone, remain calm.
Back for more, huh?
Oh, yeah. That's how it always starts. But then later there's running and screaming.
Somebody talk to me! What is happening?
Welcome to Jurassic World.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, you're listening to the Jurassic Park podcast.
How long is it going to take for that to spread around the globe?
You specialize in a subject nobody cares about anymore. You're about to be out of a job.
Look at you. Look at me. And look at you.
Hold on to your butts.
Well, we're back.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Jurassic Park podcast. I'm your host, Brad Jost, and we're here to discuss all things Jurassic, including the movies, TV shows, music, toys, and more. It's the start of a new week here, and I hope everyone in the Jurassic fan base is just doing okay, doing the best that we can. I know we all had a very, very tough week last week after learning about the passing of Sam Neill, and I know I'm still feeling it personally, but let's try to learn a thing from him and continue being kind to each other, helping each other out, helping out our planet, and look forward to a better tomorrow. I know we can do this. We'll be okay if we all stick together. So, in episode 444, we're going to continue our celebration of Sam Neill and 25 years of Jurassic Park 3 with the second installment in our look at Don Davis's score in Dino-Score, the music of the Jurassic Park franchise, with Caleb Burnett. Caleb was here last week to kick off this series with episode 433 with our thoughts and feelings on the score, plus going through the track's Isla Sorna sailing situation, all the way through the dinosaur flyby. We got to look at a ton of great stuff in that section of the film, and today we are continuing through that expanded score from La La Land Records by looking at the track's Cooper's Last Stand, all the way through Pteranodon Habitat. Now, this time, we're going to add music back in, like we always do. We're adding it back into the film from some of the moments, like the moments after Grant getting knocked out in the plane. There's a whole sequence right there that we add in, plus the Spinosaurus and T-Rex battle. We're adding music back into that. And then there's a scene with the Kirbys making their way through the jungle. Plus, we also get to check out some cues from Star Wars, Stravinsky, Jurassic Park, and The Lost World. It is another excellent installment, if I do say so myself, so buckle up because we are all going to Sorna. And as always, please check out our live streams over on YouTube discussing all of the latest Jurassic news from around the world, Wednesday nights, 9 p.m. EST, as long as I can get my audio to work. Last week, we discussed the one and only Sam Neill. We just kind of I just turned the stream on, didn't have any idea what I was going to talk about and how I was going to feel about it all, but we all got through it together. Everybody that was there was, saying kind things in the chat about Sam and just the community. It was awesome to hear, and it was a bummer of a stream, but hey, we got through it together, and who knows, hopefully we got some better news to talk about this week. And if you have any thoughts on any of the latest Jurassic news or want to share your thoughts and feelings on Sam Neill himself, please go ahead and call our voicemail line, 732-825-7763. Or you could email your voice memos or written messages to JurassicParkPod@gmail.com. Let us know all of your thoughts and feelings. I'm probably going to be compiling a Sam Neill episode for, a little bit more in the future here. But I want to give everybody some time, if they want to reach out and talk about Sam, because I know sometimes that's part of the process, right? It's just kind of talking it out loud and talking your way through all the things that made Sam awesome and made you feel special about watching these movies. So let us know if you want to, and we'll compile everything into an episode. I know some listeners have been asking about it and if they can submit stuff. So if you want to, no pressure, go ahead, reach out if you want, and we'll put some stuff together in the future. But yeah. And if you don't have anything about Sam, if you want to talk about any other Jurassic thoughts and feelings, please go ahead, share those as well. But it is time, so let's go ahead and dive into our second installment, looking at Don Davis's score for Jurassic Park 3 in Dino-Score, the music of the Jurassic Park franchise. it works well. I think. I think it works well. But that brings us to Cooper's last stand. This is the extended version from La La Land Records.
Cooper's a professional. He can handle himself.
This was originally, I think, track 3 on the album. Kind of feels like a little bit of a montage of things we've heard before. I think around here, this is where like there's a little bit of extended sequence from the original.
Mm-hmm. And that's sort of in the film where you start to hear the shots and the roaring in the jungle and things start. You're like, what's going on? So maybe it was a bit extended.
This kind of stuff feels Lost Worldy to me. The way that the strings and the maybe it's the harp. I think it sounds like watery. The Lost World was good with the harp.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. I mean, just the dramatic strings there. Lost World. Spinosaurus motif. So bombastic, aggressive brass.
This is very Lost World.
Just punching.
I love like the syncopated like rhythms that they've got going on here as a drummer. It's just like it's fun to play that kind of stuff. Like timpanis, I imagine they're having a blast.
That's Cooper.
Getting wild.
Oh, the percussion is going wild as well. It's nonstop. Oh, and then this is just nuts.
Just pure chaos.
Yeah. Chorus in there as well.
There's a little bit of extra like bombast, I think, there on this score than there is in the actual film. But yeah, it cuts off just before that end as like the timpani kind of descends there later on in that track. But yeah, pure chaos. This is I think probably our first step into like pure chaos. It's just a lot happening in there, and yeah, it's very like I know there was chaotic moments throughout Jurassic Park, definitely, absolutely, but this takes it to a completely different level.
Yeah. Every section of the orchestra is just going up and down and all over the place. So all at once like that is not as common. So
So there is an alternate version as well. And yeah, that's like here it's just the ending I think is a little bit truncated. Sometimes it's hard to tell with this stuff when you listen back and forth even. But yeah, somewhere in here, let's see this one. This is the regular extended. Yeah, here's the extra.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can definitely tell that it's a little bit longer there than the other one.
Yeah.
And I know that that was on the original album as well, and it was missing kind of this this moment here. I think around 30 seconds or so on the original one, you kind of get that like watery moment. Kind of reminded me of the Lost World, but it's missing here completely. And I think there's like extra syncopation in the later parts of this song. They'd still do it here, somewhere around here.
Yeah.
But in the extended version, it goes on just a little bit longer. So, but yeah, that's really the differences there for that. But some of that is not in the movie, and I forget where exactly. But we do have parts of those moments. So we're gonna hear that section with no music, or the tail end here probably has some.
Billy, tell me we didn't land.
I think they're looking for someone.
Dr. Grant, are you all right? I'm sorry we had to be so.
Who hit me?
That would be
Who
Cooper.
hit me?
What are they doing?
They're setting up a perimeter to make the place safe. These guys are good.
Trust me, on this island there is no such thing as safe. We have to get back on that plane. Will you tell your wife to stop making that noise? That is a very, very bad idea.
Very bad.
Amanda!
Ben!
Amanda, honey,
all
Dr.
know
Grant
this.
said that's a bad idea.
What?
He says it's a bad idea.
What's a bad idea?
And then the music kicks in right around here.
It's a Tyrannosaurus.
Yeah.
I don't think so. It sounds bigger.
There is a lead in there that's not exactly in this score, in that moment at least. It doesn't. It leads in with a little, a little bit of tension, and then goes into that bombastic moment.
Yeah.
But all that stuff prior to that is not really in the movie. But here I added it in as best as I could. I think. This was the fine one. See how it works. Let me know.
Tell
What you
me
think.
we didn't
Yeah.
land.
I think they're looking for someone.
Interesting.
Dr. Grant, are you all right? I'm sorry we had to be so.
Who hit me?
That would be Cooper.
What are they doing?
They're setting up a perimeter to make the place safe. These guys are good.
Trust me, on this island there is no such thing as safe. We have to get back on that plane. Will you tell your wife to stop making that noise? That is a very, very bad idea.
Amanda!
Ben!
Amanda, honey, Dr. Grant said that's a bad idea.
What?
He says it's a bad idea.
What's a bad idea?
What was that?
It's a Tyrannosaurus.
I don't think so.
So there you
It
go.
sounds bigger.
This is in there, so you can hear how that does work pretty well. I think that works pretty well. I don't know if I need it necessarily, but I like it in there. It works.
It works. I don't know if I need it. I kind of like the silence and like the megaphone just echoing and all that better. But like, yeah.
Yeah. I think with this movie, it adds a little structure to some otherwise like chaotic moments at times. Like there's a bit of, obviously there's a lot of comedy in that moment, right? There's like, you can't really sympathize with Amanda. I mean, you can to a certain extent. Her son's lost, obviously, her boyfriend and all that. That's horrible. That's terrible. I sympathize with that. But you don't sympathize with the fact that she's out there in the jungle screaming her head off, and Paul's like being this idiot that doesn't know his left from his right, basically, and like, what? I don't know. What do we, he's just like a goofball. And I think with this score adding to it, it kind of puts some structure to it that makes it a little less comedic in that moment. So I kind of appreciate it for that alone.
Yeah, true. It does make it less comedic. I like that it cuts out under the "what's a bad idea," like, and then comes back. Like, it's good.
Sometimes when you put these things together, you're like, you can tell like where the edit points are going to be, and like stuff cuts out, and like that cuts out perfectly right there. I'm like, this is flawless. Like, I have done my job here. This is amazing. So yeah, it's great. But yeah, that worked there. And then we're gonna move on to Frenzy Fuselage here, extended version from La La Land, and originally track 13. So the original score was kind of all over the place. It was jumping around a lot, I think,
Yeah, that little bassoon thing, that's directly from Jurassic Park, like when Ian's sitting in the back of the Jeep.
Mhm. They used it in the very start of the movie too, which is, nice.
Oh, yeah.
So I meant to ask you that before, but we'll get to that in a minute, maybe. Some of the tonality of this movie also reminds me of like Lord of the Rings, which also wouldn't have released at this point either. Something about it. That feels very Back to the Future to me, straight up. Alan Silvestri.
Yes, it does. Absolutely. Yeah.
Marty! Doc.
And this is another just track of chaos and bombast.
I did try to sit there and really listen in. I'm like focusing more than I've ever focused, trying to make sense of some of it. And I don't think you really can.
Yeah, this is absolutely nuts. The Spinosaurus motif is flying around in there.
Oh, almost did it. It almost hit that four-note motif there, the original one.
Yeah, almost the Predator motif, yeah. That bit feels like Randy Newman scoring to me, like Toy Story or something. All the sections of the orchestra just going.
I feel like Rebirth kind of did some of this vibe, right? With the boat sequences and stuff.
Yeah, and I mean some of the chomping, some of the eating that went on as well. Chaos. Yeah, honestly, there's lots of this kind of chaotic, bombastic stuff in the bird strike cue from Rebirth. When the Quetzalcoatlus is attacking them and that whole sequence.
It's fun to listen to, man.
Yeah, it's great.
So much work, dude.
Carnivore chaos. And the message it sends to the listener and the viewer is like anything could come from any direction and danger.
Nice ending. As they're running away, trying to catch their
Yeah.
breath in the jungle.
It's all right.
yeah.
We lost it. Yeah.
That was all that airplane attack sequence with the Spinosaurus. That's the moment that I saw in that, Jay Leno late night segment that I was like,
Oh yeah.
There's something about the camera work there that's like really shaky cam footage and just stuff that didn't really feel like Jurassic. There's stuff that feels like, oh, it's just miniatures, like it's very obvious. And yeah, there's a lot of weird work there. But I, as chaotic as that is, I do like listening in and trying to pick out all of the different stuff that every musician is doing in there. It's pretty wild. It's wild.
Yeah, it's definitely wild. Yeah, that scene is a little off at times, like the animatronic and all of that, but like the music certainly brings the uncertainty and the danger.
Yeah. Now, what did I say? That was track 13 track 13 originally. That was 4 minutes and 2 seconds on the original one. And here it's just 4:08. So I think, honestly, it's just a longer note at the end. I don't really I don't think there's much of anything else other than the note being longer, like held longer at the end, or just,
Yeah.
they just didn't fade out. But yeah, that was that.
Yeah.
And, I wanted to bring up, I mentioned it earlier, but this is good a time as any, I guess, to, not that it has any direct correlation or anything, but I wanted to talk about, or just take a look at Stravinsky here for a second and see what he was doing
Oh yeah.
in The Rite of Spring, because, that's something that,
Yes.
straight out of like stuff that John Williams used for Star Wars and things like that. So here's some of it here. It just
And
sounds
Jurassic
very,
Park too. Yeah.
yeah, it sounds very Jurassic Park. It sounds very Jurassic Park 3. I just thought we'd take a listen.
Yep.
This specifically, so chaotic, so Jurassic.
Yeah, this is when we're dancing and chanting around the fire in The Rite of Spring.
Stravinsky, he doesn't have anything on Don Davis, dude, with the chaoticness. It's chaotic, but
Oh, this, like, very frenzy fuselage, yeah. The just grating, aggressive brass.
yeah. Yeah, I just wanted to bring that up just because, I was looking for other examples of like what's chaotic, like what's, dissonant out there in film score or any other kind of, classical, music and stuff. And just seeing like how chaotic that track can be, at times. It's, you don't always think that there's, I think a lot of people don't really assume that like there's this deep connection to like real classical music like that to film scores in that same way. And it's right there. It's all there. And, like I said, Don Davis went wild, dude, in this score. And I think, he's pulling from some of the same source material that John Williams did. So great stuff.
Oh yeah, if you're listening to this podcast, go listen to the concert version of The Rite of Spring or the ballet version. Like, you will hear Jurassic throughout. So
That's awesome. Yeah. Yeah. And I know that's like the track that I had pulled out was like 30 minutes long. So there's a lot more in there.
yeah.
But the next one we're going to bring ourselves to is Clash of Extinction, which I believe was unused, not used in the film itself, probably for obvious reasons. We'll talk about it. I did try to, I attempted to add it in. We'll take a listen to that in a minute, but here it is. Very, very familiar track. This was originally on the soundtrack album.
Yeah, Predator motif.
That was nice. The like family rising theme there.
Yeah.
Four notes. That's so cool.
Good brass.
So this is supposed to be the Spino and T-Rex battling each other.
Yeah.
You can hear that battle up the score, the themes too, in that way. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, this would have been interesting in the film, because in the film it's just mostly silent.
Yeah, completely in that moment.
Ooh.
That's awesome. That is very cool.
Some aggressive Star Wars-y fanfare brass there at the end.
Yeah, very much so. And I just love the use of that four-note motif. Like, it sounds so good, just kind of echoing itself, and just, you can hear that back and forth of those two battling there. Now, here is that moment with an alternate opening, I guess. There's not really much different, I don't think, here, but. I think this goes on longer. Just a little bit longer there. But yeah, it's just kind of like little things here and there that are added into these extended or alternate sequences. But I do have that moment. This is the moment from the film, the Clash of Extinction, where the Spino versus the Rex. And you can tell why they wouldn't have used it. Grant's moving back the plant. He sees the T-Rex.
Nobody move a muscle.
Snap. So yeah, it's kind of wall-to-wall sound, right? Like, there's really no room for anything else in there. Paul getting punched. So I can understand not using any score in that moment. But for the sake of doing things, this was an interesting one because it didn't exactly sync up in the same way that a lot of the other ones do. So bear with me. I don't know if this works or not in the way that was originally intended. It feels like maybe they cut a lot from this moment in the film. Maybe there was more between this battle. We do know that there was a lot of other stuff utilized in this sequence that was cut. So I think it was a longer sequence that he had scored, and then they cut it down, they trimmed it, and it doesn't exactly work. But I did my best guess at where things would line up. So let's take a listen to see how this works.
It's okay, it's dead. Nobody move a muscle.
Those lined up perfect. So, very much wall of sound.
That's fun.
It's fun, and I think it works better visually if you like see it actually working out that way. Now, I took some liberties there with the cut in the music. There's a longer sequence. It kind of like if you take where the T-Rex gets its neck snapped, the music doesn't really fit post neck snappage. So I synced up the end to where that obviously worked out with Paul's punch and the music ending there and continuing like just fading out across that scene. But I took some liberties with like, all right, I'm going to cut the music off completely and then fade into the next part. So, while it doesn't fully work there, but like here it is again. I'll turn it down just look so it's not. And as soon as the Rex crashes back down, like that's where the music came back in. So I was trying so many different ways. I was editing like a bunch of different sequences and like, how would this work? Would this be better? That was the best I could come up with, but that you can get an idea of generally what they were going for with that moment, at least. I think there was probably more in there that just, would have worked better. But But yeah.
Yeah, it makes it so much more dramatic and like intense, and it's maybe not needed. Like I like when the Rex rises up and you just hear it growling, and then they run away. Like I enjoy the silence, but like it makes, and I really like it. Sort of seems like when the Rex is sort of coming into the jungle and the Spino shows up, like that's when the Predator motif is ringing out and like all of that's happening. And so I really like all of that. Like there are parts of it that work and parts of it that don't. And so I see why they cut it, but like I also really like just the silence of the animals and all of that.
Mhm. Yeah, I think the beginning of that sequence benefits from the music because, like, again, it's kind of jokey. Like when you see the T-Rex just lift up its dumb head and it's got blood on it, it's just kind of goofy in that moment. And the acting and like the Scooby-Doo of it all, like the characters like, oh, you just zoinks, and they just like kind of run off. They like you hear
Run
the
away.
boogada of their feet as they run away. Like that's what's happening there. And I think it like grounds it a little bit there. Whether the rest of it makes any sense or not, it's a bit bombastic and against all of that. But I think it adds some gravity there to that moment instead of making it super jokey.
Yeah, and I like how your edit sort of finished the scene as well. Like it goes
Mhm.
into the punch and the rest of it really well too.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, but that brings us to the man getting punched, Mr. Kirby and his Paint and Tile Plus. So here's this track here, Kirby Paint and Tile Plus. This comes in towards the end of the
Udesky.
argument. Yeah, Grant's,
Yeah.
been arguing with them about like, who are you? Like what, and all that stuff. And it comes in at the end of that. And yeah, Udesky's there. And it's effortlessly switching between like Grant, Udesky, Kirby's, Billy, stuff like that.
Yeah, that little bit there was like, either way, you probably won't get off this island alive. That little swell.
I love this version.
Kirby family, yeah.
So well done. Four-note motif laid in there. Adventure theme. It's a lot happening.
Yeah.
And Paul's a dummy, so you get the playful stuff
Yeah,
here
this is
of
like-
him trying to put on his backpack and stuff like that. And
Talking about being 1,000 feet above
oh, yeah,
the top of
you're actually 1,000 feet above it. Oh no, that's a honest mistake. Yeah, this second half is actually not in the film. And guess what? We're gonna take a listen. This all feels straight out of Jurassic Park. It's, yeah, pulled straight from it, basically, it feels like. Love this. Great. So different than anything else up to this point, I feel like.
Yeah, a little bit like when they're flying in the opening scene.
There you go. That's that Paul Kirby Paint and Tile Plus. But like I said, let's hear that moment without. So it's kind of more so the second half. We'll hear what it sounds like without the music.
Fellas, hold on. I'll make this up to you. If you ever do a bathroom or a kitchen, you're not really a mercenary, are you?
I never said I was.
That's true. What are you?
Oh, I'm like a booking agent. One of the guys got sick and couldn't come. Excuse me. Here. Does he run a hardware store?
Paint and tile, yeah.
Huh. Never can tell about people.
Never can tell,
You
but
hit the truth.
Can you?
Eric!
Quiet.
Will you stop that? Dr. Grant says this is very dangerous territory.
Look, maybe we should split up or something. You know, we could cover twice as much ground.
Dr. Grant says that's a bad idea.
Dr. Grant says...
Well, what's the good of hiring an expert if we're not going to use his advice?
Yeah, except Dr. Grant isn't looking for Eric. He's looking for the coast.
Okay, fine. Go ahead and scream. And then when that tricycloplot attacks you, don't come crying to me.
Don't worry about that.
What?
Nothing.
What did you
Just-
say?
Never mind.
What did
Forget
you
it.
say?
God, Paul, just...
If we split up, I'm going with you guys.
So music comes in there from the next track. But here it is with some
Fellas,
music.
Hold on. I'll make this up to you. If you ever do a bathroom or a kitchen, you're not really a mercenary, are you?
I never said I was.
That's true. What are you?
Oh, I'm like a booking agent. One of the guys got sick and couldn't come. Excuse me. Here. Does he run a hardware store?
Paint and tile, yeah.
Huh. Never can tell about people, can you?
Ain't that the truth?
Eric!
Quiet.
Will you stop that? Dr. Grant says this is very dangerous territory.
Look, maybe we should split up or something. You know, we could cover twice as much ground.
Dr. Grant says that's a bad idea.
Dr. Grant says...
Well, what's the good of hiring an expert if we're not going to use his advice?
Yeah, except Dr. Grant isn't looking for Eric. He's looking for the coast.
Okay, fine. Go ahead and scream. And then when that tricycloplot attacks you, don't come crying to me.
Don't worry about that.
What?
Nothing.
What did you
Just-
say?
Never mind.
What did you
Forget
say?
it. God, Paul, just...
If we split up, I'm going with you guys.
There it is. So doesn't really add a lot there. I think I'm fine without that being in the film.
Yeah, I like it. I think it, like, I don't know. I like, I mean, like many scenes in this movie, like I like just the sounds underneath of the jungle and just the natural sounds and the voices, but like that adds just a little bit of drama and like thematic material in there that but it's not necessary, I don't
Yeah.
think.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, not necessary. I do like that, like, very, you know, I don't even know how to describe it, but it's just like a very cool, like, thing that they're doing in music when Paul and Amanda are kind of bickering there. It just sounds so cool. So I like that part, but other than that, it's fine not being in the film. But that brings us to Bone Man Ben. Now, like I said, this is a track that is much longer on the soundtrack version. It's like a almost 7.5 minute track. But here it's 3.5 minutes, and it's kind of more condensed into what that track actually is. So let's take a listen here. This picks up as soon as we see that parachute. So family theme, barely cutting in there. I think this is where, I don't remember if this is the original Bone Man Ben kind of cuts in around somewhere around here.
Mm-hmm. Sort of sad, mysterious stuff when they're seeing like the found footage, basically.
Yeah, it's all very like melodramatic and very sappy and sad, and it works well.
Mysterious missing person type music. Yeah.
How did they not see him, by the way? where were his bones so hidden that they could not find him?
Oh. Yeah, that's a further discussion about what got him and how it twisted a parachute and all that.
Compies.
Can you fly this, Billy?
Yeah, in a second here, you're going to know exactly when Ben falls down and into Amanda's face.
Yeah, you are. You most definitely are.
Kind of old-timey. I don't know, something like old Hollywood feel to that score.
Yeah.
The Wizard of Oz.
I mean, in
or
a little
something.
bit there, like the yeah. The woodwinds were just going like up and down, up and down. So. Paul's sort of reassuring Amanda.
Yeah. And you can tell as soon as they start to talk about Eric, like when the family theme comes in.
Yeah. There it is.
Very sad rendition of the family theme there.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I think Amanda spots the eggs right here as the music runs out.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. But I won't play the entire other version because it's kind of just all over the place and a lot of stuff we haven't gotten to just yet. But Bone Man Ben, like I said, it focused on Udesky and Nash and Cooper. This parts of this moment here. Another one for Reaching for Glory, Party Crasher, Raptor Harassment. So it kind of jumps all over the place, but go listen to that on your own time if you want to. But that's a great track. And I think one that we're all familiar with because we've had this one for, 20-something years before we got these new versions. But yeah, that's a nice track, somber, touching on the human element of the family and how upsetting it actually really is and all that. And we get to see Paul really come into his own a little bit here. So I appreciate that. So that was nice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's some good. The Kirby theme is just written really well and works for those types of thematic things in the story. So it's great.
It blends so nicely with everything else going on here. I know I've said it a lot that like Don Davis is doing a lot, and that pertains to his bombastic stuff that is just so chaotic, so much happening. But there's also so much happening when it's quiet and sad, and there's a lot of switching, to, let's focus on Udesky for a second. Let's focus on Grant for a second. Here's the Kirby theme. So there's like all this stuff there. He's doing a lot, and I appreciate it. It's very, very good stuff here. But that brings us to Raptor Eggs. More Star Warsy sounding stuff. So Star Warsy.
More of this raptor texture of the orchestra, the chorus, and chilling strings.
Yeah, you know the egg nest is there, so.
Yeah.
Definitely now.
Ooh. Yeah. Now we
So
don't
much
know
of-
where Billy is.
It's like the other car. You know, it sounds so much like the falling
It
car in the
is.
T-Rex chase too. You know, but a slower version, I think.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. Where's Billy? Don't do that again. If I lose you, it's just me and the damn tourists.
I can't tell if Grant is like a good guy or just not nice at all to anybody. Like,
Well, Billy's like, sorry, but then Grant's response is like, if I lose you, like I don't want to lose you.
yeah.
So
They do spot the other
a little
lab
bit
at
of
some point.
Isla Sorna, yeah, a little bit of Isla Sorna sailing situation there. Bum, 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 bum.
Yeah, they're all like going down to the lab and kind of walking up on it and entering the building there. Ooh, scary.
Spotting the lab a little bit.
And you can hear something here in a second. Something quickly ran past the lab in the back window.
In the background, yeah.
It is haunting, like seeing that run by as like a shadow. It's very cool. I love that moment.
And the little musical hit, the little musical hit there makes it work.
Yeah, very
quite
like
well.
trilly flute kind of stuff.
Shrieking,
or something. So,
yeah, shrieking raptor a little bit.
Yeah, it's awesome. A lot of this, I know I've been talking about Star Wars a lot. It does remind me of this. Here's another. This is the Imperial Attack. So I'm going to play this just to hear what it sounds like around this moment here. It's giving me like, I was thinking, what does it remind me? It reminds me of like Vader coming in or something. Like, that kind of stuff. Again, like this also sounds like, you know, like a Stravinsky or a Tchaikovsky kind of stuff too. So it's all backdating to those like influences, I feel like. So definitely give me vibes of stuff like that too. So
I mean, you could put that little section in Jurassic Park 3 and it might work pretty well. So
yeah, I'm sure it would. Yeah. This brings us to quintessential Jurassic music. And this is the Raptor Room. Track 4 on the original.
Got the little raptor flute there.
The amount of air being pushed through.
Yeah. Yeah, and this chorus is like pretty much exactly the same as when we're hatching a raptor in Jurassic Park.
Yeah, this starts basically as soon as they walk down into that like genetics lab area. Yeah. I love whenever you get that like the creation lab, like the feeling of being in there. It's so angelic.
I mean, yeah, it's the whole playing God idea, very sort of heavenly, ethereal forces. Get some brass here in a second.
Oh, yeah. Well, Amanda's going to spot that raptor.
Right here.
And the tour moves on.
The tour moves on. chaos is back.
It's got that momentum of the end of Jurassic Park, like keeping that moving.
Yeah.
Ooh, that was nice. Really
Raptors
creepy.
looking up at the gap.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's telling you how smart it is. It choir's awesome sounding.
It's calling for help.
That is great. That the choral moments here are very it's slim. There's not a ton, but when they are there, it's really impactful. And that was so creepy.
Absolutely.
sounding. And just telling you like this thing is communicating, it's understanding, it's knowing what's going on. I love that. That whole track is awesome. So it's like I said, quintessential Jurassic, and I feel like it wouldn't be Jurassic without that kind of vibe. I mean, I know Rebirth didn't really do a whole lot with Raptors, but like, Raptors, that's where it's at, man. It feels right.
Totally, and you need that ominous music with them, for sure.
Mm-hmm. Not so much ominous here, but we've got the Raptor repartee here. And this one, love this track as well. It's so good. Mm-hmm. Originally track 5. Pacing is so good.
Into the herd. It's a little like rodeo-ish, roundup-ish.
Yeah. So much percussion happening too.
Yeah. Reminds me a little bit of when Owen is wrangling the Parasaurolophus when he gets the rope around it.
Again with that fallen car and T-Rex chase there.
Yeah, yeah. Udesky. That's very compy-like music there.
Mm-hmm.
More of the fallen car.
Love the variations on it. It's so cool.
Yeah.
There's a cool moment coming up.
They set a trap.
Yeah. This moment I like here comes straight out of like the incident at Isla Nublar, like from the beginning of Jurassic Park. It's very quick, but it's like it's coming up here in a second. You should be able to hear it. Like right there.
Udesky dies. Oh, yeah. I mean, when the brass... Yeah, when the brass swells and when the raptor is trying to break out of its little box.
Exactly.
Yeah, totally.
It's a wonderful callback.
Yeah.
That too, from the maintenance shed, I think. Yeah, that's a fantastic track. A lot happening. But yeah, this is so Incident at Isla Nublar, like it's got that one little moment that we just mentioned there, and that comes in at it's about a minute and a half or so into that song. Let's just hear like real quick here. Right here. So if we go back to that other one, you can hear it in this, it's like 2:45 or so, right around here. Like right there, right at that end, the tail end of that.
Yeah.
And then comparing it to the T-Rex rescue and finale. So we're going to cut all the way to like close to the end of this song. It's like 6 minutes or so in, just to hear this. So I think it's like that. Like there's one there, and then also here, I couldn't tell. I'm like, what is it? Is it trying to replicate one of these moments? But you've also got the maintenance shed. They kind of do that same thing around 3:20 here. And I'm going to start it here. Like right there, there's that now if we go back to the Raptor repartee, we go to 3:04. That's where this moment pops off here. That right there, that rising motif there, I really, really dig that. That sounds so cool. Yeah, but yeah, it's a great track, and I love the beginning of it. It honestly reminds me a lot of the podcast itself. Let me see if I can bring that up since we're here. It reminds me, because a lot of these tracks that I use different audio cues and things from time to time, and one of them that I used so much was from the news segment, and something about this just sounded like the news to me, and I'm like, which one? Because that's what I do. I'm like, what does this sound like it could be used for when trying to come up with little clips and things. So here is the news intro. Let me just play the beginning of that.
18 minutes and your company catches up on 10 years of research.
Access me. Access me. Security.
These pictures were taken in hospital in Costa Rica 48 hours ago.
I don't want to jump to any conclusions, but look.
Boy, do I hate being right all the time. But today, I guarantee it.
So I just can't help but think of that stuff, and I know it's more personal than anything else, just because I've heard it so many times while editing and cutting these episodes that I can't help but hear that every time, and just kind of like when you like for so many years, like I think it was this track. Let's see, like Journey to the Island, just reminds me of the beginning. Hello and welcome to the Jurassic Park podcast. Like that to me, like that's like the score that I use underneath all of these different moments of the movies. I can't help but hear myself or hear things that I've edited into the movies. So
that's gonna confuse somebody 2 hours in.
Yep. But anyway, that's just my own brain comparing things. But yeah, there is an album version of that. Like I said, it was originally track 5, Raptor Repartee, and it kind of cuts him in and out there, and it actually does Eric to the Rescue, which is the next track here. And let's take a listen to that. This one is so dramatic.
Yes, those high strings descending. Heroic brass.
This is right where Eric learns that his parents are there together. Whether that's good or not for him, he's not sure. But you can tell what's happening in the movie based off of all these themes that pop up. And also, you know,
very
that, like,
good.
Yeah.
Clarinet oboe rendition of the Kirby theme.
And you also know that Eric realizes it's Alan Grant because then you get this.
Then you get that. You're Alan Grant.
But they didn't want to linger too long because you don't really need a theme behind Grant eating beans. So it's just not very necessary.
I liked your first book better. You liked dinosaurs back then.
So there's not really a lot of there's not really music or anything while Alan and Eric are chatting in the water truck until we hear like a little flurry of dinosaurs, I believe. But yeah, so this next track is gonna be Tree People. Compies.
Yeah, compies. Sort of, I mean, kind of fantastical, squeaky, less malicious compy music.
So this kind of...
there's a little Lost World theme there.
Oh, it's something about this tone that we're getting, whatever he's telling us in this music here, it's so majestic, and it's different than I feel like it kind of feels like its own island theme in a lot of ways. It shows up whenever you see dinosaurs roaming around or just the island itself. So it's kind of interesting. It's not necessarily a theme, but it's just kind of like a vibe.
Yeah, it feels reminiscent of the Lost World for me when it's going like it's sort of tweaked and twisted, but and then you get the Kirby theme on the oboe here, very sweet, very heartwarming.
Yeah, I love it. There's so much like grace and strength in what he's doing with the family themes and stuff.
Yeah, and this is really nice.
Yeah, this is
French horn.
I would consider this like what the B version of the family theme or something like that. So
yeah, like the full version. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's something that, like, as a theme, it doesn't necessarily feel like something you might hear in a Jurassic movie. It's more of like it's a family drama, like story type of theme. And so it
reminds me
of the Kirbys really well.
It reminds me of like Back to the Future a little bit. Back to the Future 3, there's like, I guess it's like the third films for some reason that one feels very like just family drama music and I've always thought that about that movie too in the beginning of that movie, and it's kind of got that same vibe here where you just feel like, oh, this is different, this is nice. And I mean, there's been interviews about this from Don Davis about like, there was nothing like relating to family themes or anything like that really in the first two movies, so had to kind of come up with our own thing there, and it's beautiful, man. It sounds so good.
Yeah, there's that theme in the third Back to the Future that's like
exactly.
Like,
yeah,
it's very, very sweet, and like it's about Doc and his love, and like that whole thing.
Yeah. And it sounds so
and
different than everything else.
Oh yeah, and on the like some of the conversations and interviews about this theme, like Don Davis sort of describes it as like a theme to go with the stitching up of the Kirby's relationship, or and he says things like that. So like it makes you feel like you're sort of mending and coming together as a family. Like it's really good.
Yeah, you drive 5 miles per hour under the speed limit, Paul.
It wasn't totaled. I just said that so that we could get the SUV.
Yeah, it's so sweet and so nice to have like a new theme, in throughout this movie, and it's been subtly building and building and building. And I think that was like the first time that we heard that like second half or of the family theme there, the B theme part of it, or whatever you want to call it. I think that was the first time we heard it for real in the score, and it'll come in big time in a minute here. But yeah, we transition, out of Eric opening the water truck hatch there, and then you get sounds of jungle for a few as people are emerging out of their tree. Or were they in the trees at that point? I feel like yeah, I think so. And
yeah, tree people. Yeah.
Tree people, yeah, makes sense. So yeah, there's a little bit of emerging there with jungle sounds and stuff like that, and eventually we do come across what I think is probably just one of the best cues in this entire thing, and that is Nash calling.
Yeah, this is like my favorite cue from the whole score.
It's so, again, just strong. It's got that strength, and it's a bit sweeping and romantic sounding. Yeah, this track starts as Alan like spots the boat, and continues as they're talking about getting to the coast and all that. Love that. Very inquisitive, and it's a cool vibe.
Just more of that brass forward trombones and stuff that's been throughout this score as we've gone through it.
Very pensive, like I'm waiting for something to happen here. It's something happen. Come on, please. Uh-oh.
And then we get... Do you hear that? It's the phone! It's that stupid phone! How do you know?
It's like the family theme is
Kirby,
trying to gather
us in Westgate. Here it comes.
Here we go. Kind of got that B theme first, which is interesting. It like getting into it.
Full thing just sweeping. Strings are playing the theme, the horn is above it, just sort of accenting it. And the trumpet here.
So good.
And in my opinion, the ringtone of the phone and the family theme are similar to each other, like rhythmically, and the family theme is ba da 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 da, like, and the phone is ba da 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 da, like they're related to each other a little bit. I loaned it to Nash. He must have had it when he...
Yeah, they start to realize something off in the distance. I love that. That is
Then you
such...
get the ringtone right there.
It is, yeah, it is such a great track, and finally getting the full statement of that theme is so rewarding, I think, because it's been building and building, and then you finally get to hear the entire thing and the drama of it as it's building to them, even in that track itself, and then getting them all hugging together. It's just so rewarding, and yeah, the score does all the work there.
Yeah, it's such a release of all of their worry and stress, and they're like shouting for each other and they embrace. It's just a perfect underscore. So
yeah. So you had mentioned the ringtone. We gotta play it. I mean, look, it's musical, right?
Yes. Kirby Paint and Tile Plus in Westgate.
Well, whose job was it to really come up with that, like the theme song for it?
I mean, you can just imagine an early 2000s like janky commercial, like
Yes.
Kirby Paint and Tile Plus in Westgate. Like,
I really wish we got like an awkward commercial from like Paul and family, like at the store, just one of those like handheld, like old commercials. Oh, it would have been so good,
Yes.
it would have been great.
Paul Kirby here. If you come and visit us at Kirby Paint and Tile Plus in the Westgate Shopping Center in Enid, Oklahoma, if you're ever doing a bathroom or a kitchen and you need tile or resurfacing of your floors or the linoleum on your walls in your bathrooms, you can come to us and we'll give you a great Dino deal. So.
Oh my God, yeah, I love it, and it needs that awkward energy, that like all those commercials always have. They're so funny, but yeah. So that's an iconic ringtone, and it's just an iconic moment in the movie. And would that have ever worked? Would we have ever been able to hear it through the stomach of the Spinosaurus? Probably not, but doesn't matter. It's still as cool as ever. I love that moment.
Is an ear-splitting ringtone so powerful that it penetrates 6 or 7 layers of flesh and viscera and skin. So
yeah, that is powerful. Satellite phones, man. I don't know. Who knows what they're capable of? But but that does bring us to the party crasher of this situation, and that's the title of that track as well, Party Crasher.
Oh, just complete bombastic again here. Mm-hmm. Woodwinds going up and down, the brass going bam, 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 doing the Spinosaurus thing.
Yeah. This one starts right as soon as Nash calling had ended. It's the chaos of that Spino chase and the family being safe behind the doors and everything, so...
Or so they think.
Or they say, yeah.
One of the only times in the Jurassic franchise when you see a gigantic carnivore just break through an electric fence that's not on. So,
and that fence is no joke, dude. That fence is not what the T-Rex had to deal with.
Yeah.
This is a full, like, just steel, like, bars and stuff. Not just wires, not just some little wires the T-Rex had to deal with.
Oh yeah, you're getting your jab in on the T-Rex. T-Rex never could have broken through that fence.
Never.
Spinosaurus.
No, not at all. A lot of bad vibes in here.
Mm-hmm.
So, hey Grant, can I get my bag back?
Yeah, I was gonna say this is when we discovered the stolen raptor eggs. far as I'm concerned, you know better than the people that built this place.
You know, this whole scene is so weird. Like, Billy's got this awkward energy, like, where he's becoming like a villain. He's trying to play it that way. And Grant is just like, I'm going to be as just brutal as I can to you right now. Hesitating.
Hanging him out the window.
Yeah.
What are you doing? Those things are after us because of those. If I lose these eggs, they'll still be after us. What if they catch us with them? What if they catch us without them?
And yeah, the pace picks up here as they start to descend like into the bird cage. Yeah. Nice. That one was originally, there were parts of that in Bone Man Ben. I think like towards the end there was some stuff, but Bone Man Ben is all over the place. That track is like completely wild. The original one, at least, from the original score. But that brings us to Pteranodon Habitat. And this was originally track 7 on the original score. Again, this
that
is
little
one that
woodwind
just
string
continues.
thing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It pops up throughout the score, and it's really, really good. Just very mysterious, this thing.
Yes.
That's when the stairs break off, if I'm not mistaken. Paul Kirby goes... This music is just very atmospheric, environmental, like it just solidifies the murky, foggy, spooky environment that they're walking through.
Mm-hmm. Ooh. Kind of touching on that 4-note motif, but like going farther, that sounded like.
Mm-hmm.
It's not, I wouldn't say that this track necessarily does much different as it's establishing like a new, well, not a new species, but like a new attack sequence and species for the franchise in that way. Doesn't really do a lot different. It's just very mysterious.
Mm-hmm. Little family theme there.
Yep. I think Amanda's talking to Eric. You know, it's okay if I'm not with you for the next 2 minutes or whatever.
Yeah.
But after this part, there's a bit of inconsistency. The track seems to be, I think in the film, like an alternate take. You hear those? Do-do-do-do. Those aren't in the movie, those notes. But the underneath it is. The dun-dun-dun-dun-dun. Kind of fades in and out. It's weird at that part. And then right here, this is not in the movie at all. This rising tone. This is Grant's grabbing like the bird poop and all that stuff.
Oh yeah.
It goes into this, which we'll talk about in a second here, but it goes into something different.
It's a bird cage.
Yeah, so it's weird that final like 20 seconds or so is not in the movie, and they just go to this. I'll play this is straight from the movie, so
I think I can manage the next 2 minutes without you. Right, we're all together now.
It's the mark of a good theme that you can just throw it in the middle of this cue and it still works.
Yeah. that's where that doo doo doo, like that's where that happens, and it's not happening here.
Okay, Eric.
Okay.
Come on, honey.
That part's happening, but then it changes coming up here, and we get the timpanis.
Oh yeah. Very primal. Almost like the steps of the pteranodon.
Mom?
Oh my God.
What is it?
It's a bird cage.
It's a bird.
For what?
Birds. So that continues into the next track there with tiny pecking pteranodons. But it's weird that timpani part is not anywhere on this expanded score at all. So I don't know where it comes from. Is it something that was recorded by, this production? I don't know. Is it something that they just, some cue that they picked up and just threw into the track? Is it like, pre-recorded stuff or what? I mean, it does have that very Jurassic vibe, and it sounds a lot like The Lost World. I actually like just to point it out. I was thinking that there was something closer, but the best I could come up with was, let's see, it's somewhere around 159 here in The Lost World. This track called Ripples. Just that vibe, this is a bit faster.
Oh yeah.
Back and forth.
Absolutely.
I was like, is there a chance that this is pulled from The Lost World? Because we knew that they used The Lost World score as like temp track or something. I'm like, so I was like scouring through The Lost World. I was like, it sounds familiar, but like maybe I'm just assuming it from this movie. Like that's why it's familiar. But I couldn't find anything that related to it directly from The Lost World. And I have no idea what it really comes from, but probably just something left on the cutting room floor there. But it's interesting that it's nowhere to be found.
Yeah. My guess would be that like maybe the cue originally or this cue or another cue originally had a timpani line like that, and like they recorded it separately or solo by itself, and they had it just to drop in if they needed to from something else, or like so it would be pretty easy just to grab a timpani line like that. But
sure, yeah. I think I read somewhere, I don't know where, let me see if I wrote down the quote here, but I don't know, maybe I'll find it later, but I think I read that they had like 2 sets of timpanis, like 5-piece timpanis. So that's pretty cool.
Oh yeah.
But
hell yeah.
Yeah.
All the timpanis.
I'll get them all out there. But yeah, that's awesome. I love a good timpani. To me, it's like quintessential, like a dinosaur's kind of creeping up on you, and it's awesome. Not even creeping up, it's just like stampeding in, basically. But in this case, it's much more pensive, and you're not really sure what's around that corner through the fog. So yeah, perfect use.
Yeah, it's almost like a heartbeat a little bit too. So.
Yeah. But that does bring us to tiny pecking pteranodons, and we have the film version here, and there is the previous album version.
Life will not be contained. Life breaks free, it expands to new territories, and crashes through barriers painfully, maybe even dangerously, but well, there it is. There it is. I'm simply saying that life finds a way.
That'll do it for another episode of the Jurassic Park podcast. We appreciate each and every one of you for listening in and sharing in our love of the scores of this franchise, specifically Jurassic Park 3. It's always great to listen to some stuff, add some further context, see what it was all about, where it came from, and what it sounded like when it wasn't there, when it was there. It's a lot of fun. I just have so much fun recording these. And I don't know, I think I talked about it on a live stream or somewhere else, in the Sam Neill episode. But like the fact that this string of episodes that I do with Caleb for Dino-Score, They're usually recorded over like 2 sessions or so, usually timing out to be like 2 hours each or so. And yeah, so this episode I think was partially the first session and then partially the second session. So, we were trying to keep it together and do our best on that second half. But I think we pulled it together, even though there was some heavy news last week. But thank you, as always, to Caleb for pulling things together and being there with me through all of these episodes. And we've got one more to go in this installment of the Jurassic Park 3 series here. So thank you so much to Caleb for joining me, sharing his knowledge and thoughts on this incredible score that I'm really starting to get on board with, I think, with each and every passing episode. But if you have any thoughts or feelings, you can always hit us up on Instagram, Facebook, or Threads to continue the conversation. Also, be sure to subscribe to my newsletter for all things Jurassic, movies, TV shows, my other podcasts, and thoughts and appearances. Please go find the link to the newsletter on JurassicParkPodcast.com/newsletter. Thanks, as always, to our podcast hosts for giving us a place to upload the podcast each and every week. Everybody out there, please just know that you matter. Stay safe, be kind, fight for representation, change, and equality in the Jurassic franchise, but more importantly, outside of it, in the real world, where people like Sam Neill, I can't stop it. I feel like he really just impacted so much, and it's just so apparent now. Of how important he was and how much in tune he was with all of these kind of things, the representation, the equality and in the world and with the animals and the earth and everything. It was literally just everything that he was about. So let's be sure to make things a lot more like Sam Neill would and make the world a better place. I'm going to go ahead and hand things off to myself for the outro. Take it away.
Saddle up, let's get this movable feast underway.
Continue the conversation with us on Threads, Facebook, and Instagram. Watch our content over on YouTube. Find us on the web at JurassicParkPodcast.com. You'll find today's episode show notes, articles, and so much more. You can listen to us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Podomatic, our website, or wherever else podcasts are found. So be sure to follow along and share with your friends, family, and fellow Jurassic fans. If you haven't already, please leave us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. We will read your Apple reviews at the end of most episodes, so please be sure to spare no expense. Don't miss our Wednesday night live streams on our YouTube channel. If you want to get a hold of us, you can fill out the contact form on our website or send emails and MP3s to JurassicParkPod@gmail.com. Feel free to call our voicemail line at any time to leave us a message or just say hi. That number is 732-825-7763. Thank you so much for listening, and enjoy.
Five minutes. Drop what you're doing and leave now.